right, here we go. It's podcasting time. Colin Thomas from Essential Maintenance and We Will Fix It Dubai in the house. We're going to be talking DIY. We've got riddles. We've got stories. We've got, misery meter things to go through. And generally, we are going to help you get your mind into a DIY frame. And it all is coming to you from Dubai and the We Will Fix It almost HQ. We spend a lot of time here at the Rove Hotel in the
Feels
podcast
like
studio.
home, doesn't it?
Yeah. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Everybody who's listening, it will not be Valentine's Day,
No.
but it actually is Valentine's Day.
At this moment of recording, it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so happy Valentine's Day,
Happy
James.
Valentine's Day to you as well.
You feel like kind of like the work husband.
Thank you.
Yeah, say that in the positive way it's intended, without a doubt.
I think Valentine's Day is often a lesson for many people, and it comes once a year, and although the people will say it's all year round and blah, 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 but there's no denying that you can fail miserably on February 14th. And if you do, or if you've made a misstep, you now have an entire year to start planning for the follow-up. So how is your Valentine's Day going so far?
Next question. Right, I did excellent. And oddly enough, I DIY'd it.
Oh, no, this is awesome. Okay,
Right, so
a
we're
DIY
not-
Valentine's.
And then when I say DIY, I don't mean traditional maintenance DIY. I mean, as in, we're not going out this evening. Natalie is cooking, and I actually did all the shopping myself.
Okay.
So I did it myself.
Nice.
Didn't work out.
Hold on. Natalie's cooking.
Yeah,
You did all the shopping,
I did really well.
and it didn't work out.
No, it didn't work out.
Okay, share the story.
Okay, so I decided to cover every single base this year
Oh, no.
because the conversation was last year, I don't want any flowers, I don't want any presents. Let's just spend the day together, which we did.
Yeah.
And a week ago, she said, and you didn't even bother to get me flowers last year, and you got me nothing.
And you're going,
And you said you just wanted to spend the day with me, so that's what we did. Oh, I might have said that. I obviously didn't mean that. Okay, so there we go. Tick box, gorgeous flower company.
Yeah.
Get the gorgeous flowers. Done that.
Yeah.
Now, we are leaving tomorrow to go on holiday
Yeah.
for a few days.
Yeah.
So she made the point, well, you might as well not get me flowers on the basis that the day after we're going away.
Yep.
Brain in gear. Went Saturday morning, got them then. So that way she's got 5 days of flowers. Okay? Yeah, husband tick point.
Exactly.
Well done,
Yeah,
me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing. She really likes stuff from Rituals.
Hold on.
So-
Was she happy with the flowers?
Yeah, she liked
Okay,
flowers.
okay.
Liked flowers. Sorry. Yeah, on Saturday. Obviously, that's nothing related to Valentine's Day in her book. but there we
No, of
go.
course not. That's the Saturday flowers.
Yeah,
and-
those Saturday flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I went to Rituals on Saturday.
Oh, I
Her
love that
favourite
place.
shop. Yeah, favourite shop. So not only did I get a gift pack including all the bits that she really likes from me, but I also got her 2 more of the foamy spray efforts for the shower that she absolutely adores for the from the kids.
Okay.
So they each had a Valentine's gift to give to mummy.
So there's more tick boxes here. Like
Oh,
you're winning
I've nailed
here.
it. I've nailed it.
Yeah.
Right. Then on Saturday evening, we're watching this awesome program called The Repair Shop. Have you seen that?
No.
Right. It's brilliant. So you really actually do need to see this. What it is sentimental objects that have got broken along the way,
Oh.
whether that be ceramic, metal, leather, and they have an expert in each area within the repair shop that brings them back to life like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh, God, it is absolutely incredible. And this ceramic horse comes in that had been split in 2, and the lady goes, oh, my God, that's absolutely amazing. And she said, are you aware that this is extremely collectible? And the lady goes, no, I had no idea. I got it in a tombola of 25 years ago.
Okay, well, there's going to be a few people listening who have no idea what a tombola is.
Right, a tombola is, so you have a bunch of numbers that are assigned to all of the prizes that are on a table, and then you have like a barrel that is rotated round and round and round. You stick your hand in, get the number, and that gives you the prize that is there. That's a tombola.
Right, there we go.
Is that just a British thing?
I think it is.
Blimey, that's amazing. Okay, so we are sat there.
Although I knew what it was because I've been here a long
Oh,
time.
of course. Yeah. So we were sat there on Saturday night watching this, and we both went, that horse is just awesome. Really, really nice. Extremely collectible. And that one's broken in 2. And then we both went, oh, yeah, that's really nice. And we had the kids, as always, in the big bed, going, oh, yeah, we really like that as well. So then Natalie kind of falls asleep, and I'm like, I wonder whether I could get one of those for Valentine's Day. Okay?
Here.
And look online, and they're really collectible. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. How much? There's no way. There's absolutely no way. And then I suddenly thought, I wonder whether they're still making them. Well, it turns out that the production house in Italy still makes these.
Wow.
And at a significantly lower price than they are secondhand.
Well, because they're new.
Yeah. So, but from the original design from the 1960s, from this very collectible designer.
Yeah.
So basically, I did it. I literally went and I got this for her. And I'm going to show you. This is perfect for radio, obviously. But I'm just going to show you a picture of said horse.
Right? Oh, okay. Hold
so
on.
it's 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters. Yeah. Wow. Can you hold it up to one of those screens? Yeah, yeah. Just hold it this way too. There we go. Yeah. And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So are we absolutely and utterly
Actually, if you just hold it up in front of your face, because I might have messed it all up.
1 second. I'm just going to give you a bit of detail of it, even though I haven't got my glasses on. So it is Rimini Blue, and it was done in 1959 by the Manifattura Bitusi ceramicist Aldo Londi in Italy. And yes, these are now very, very collectible indeed.
Wow.
So, obviously, it's not delivered as yet, so I printed out this, the picture of it and the detail of all of it, put it into the card today. I thought, oh my God, I've utterly aced it. Anyway, so she's done all the rest of the presents. I'm in a good place here. I'm like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Just get ready for this. She then opens the card and goes, you bought me a horse? I went, yeah. And the kids are going, you recognise the horse? And she's like, no. And this is last Saturday night. And then I twigged. So at the time that we watched the repair shop, Natalie had a glass of wine. And I totally forgot that one glass of wine and she has no memory of anything anymore. So she hadn't got a clue what this horse was that we looked at. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely lovely at the time. And she was just looking at it going, he's bought me a horse. What's he bought me a horse for? Right? So that was this morning. Felt absolutely utterly flat. And the homework for the kids today, because it's half term as well, is to basically watch that episode again with mummy to remind her exactly what this horse is about. And I thought I'd just done the husband of the decade, and I haven't. Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit flat at this moment. So I'll tell you what, dinner had better be good. I will take 9 out of 10 as an absolute minimum.
What's on the menu?
I haven't got a clue.
I thought you went out and bought everything for it.
No, not for dinner.
Oh, okay.
God, jeez, I looked after my bit. What are you on about? Crazy. Hopefully she goes out today. Talking of that, actually, as a result of this, I'm going to give her an order. I think that's a great idea. This could definitely sort out Valentine's Day. So we'll give her an order for things that would be very nice to see on a plate. Now, it's really important.
Are you crazy? It's like, no.
James,
on Valentine's Day.
You know by now I'm full of talk and no trousers. So I'm not actually going to do this, but I've got the feeling I should go for, king lobster. Nothing smaller will do. I think it's all that kind of stuff that I've got to really push in my own mind, because I'm never going to send that, am I, James? I'm not that brave. And also, I'm not that good at ducking, especially with my eyesight these days. I can't duck the plates. So on that basis.
Speaking of scary crustaceans, we were down at WeMart by the clock tower. Do you ever go by the clock tower anymore?
No, don't get outside town at all.
So there's WeMart, which is they have a lot of Japanese stuff. They have a lot of Chinese stuff. They have a lot of Korean food in there.
Cool.
And so it's kind of like you're in Asia. So on the ground floor, it's just free for all kind of cafeteria style place.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. Like the food is great.
That's very Asian in style as well, isn't it?
And then you go up on the second floor and they've got a grocery store. And a wonderful for vegetables, but they also have a fish market.
Ooh.
And they have Alaskan king crabs there the other day.
Oh man.
But
really?
they're live. They're live in these things. They are the scariest looking creatures I've ever seen. And the guy who's taking them out had a butcher's mitt on.
Yeah.
So, it's steel on the outside of it, rubber to get them, and they're just flailing at him as he's pulling them out. And it was just like,
I used to watch The Deadliest Catch, which was that getting the Alaskan king crabs. And yeah, you're right. They're absolutely insane, aren't
they
they?
do not want to be out of the water, and they don't want to be anywhere near you.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Very, very scary indeed. So that was my
Okay.
DIY Valentine's.
Well, there we go.
Was that tenuous enough?
Yeah, that's great. I think that's good.
Yeah,
it's going to work.
Fine.
It's going to work out.
Nobody will notice.
No.
It's going to be just fine. They'll think it's still DIY.
I got a joke for you. Why did the DIY enthusiast always carry a hammer in their pockets?
I don't know. Why did a DIY enthusiast always carry a hammer in their pockets?
So they could always be ready to nail the next project.
We do need to get out more, James.
Oh, hold on. Let me start off the yesterday.
All my troubles seem so far away.
Oh, man. The misery meter, I had to get it out, and I knew that my wife even said, why are you even bothering?
You're not very good at miserable, though.
Oh, so I make a call to get the guys who do the maintenance where I live to come and make a visit. It's like, really? My wife's going, why are you doing this? Why are you just not calling We Will Fix It? Like, why do you persist? She says it's going to take you 3 of their visits before you give up. But I thought, I just got to give them another chance.
No, I get it.
So I make the call. They say, yeah, we'll be there at whatever time. It turns out I forgot that they were coming.
Oh, that happens.
So I forgot they were coming. But then I'm thinking, they never arrive on time. So like, this shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Of course they were early. And and so I send a note because I'm thinking, I saved this one because I send a note to the service guy because they're not outside the villa. Turns out they got there early and they just parked a little bit further up because they were under a tree sleeping because they're going, you weren't there. And
no, we were. It's just you didn't hit hard enough.
And then it's kind of like, hold on, I've been home for a half an hour. Where were you guys if you were here?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we were upset. Anyway, so 2 problems. Remember I had that water tank?
Yeah, I remember the water tank.
And then they replaced a whole bunch of the high pressure piping on the roof. Seems there's a leak on one of them, on one of the seams.
That can happen.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of unfortunate.
That's what I said too. And it's like, oh man. So the thing
but it's odd over the time frame because we're now 3 months later.
Yeah.
That doesn't normally happen.
No, so
you get through a week normally with that. You're normally fine for decades.
So not a problem. The guy comes, takes a look. Yeah, we got an issue. And goes, it's not that much water though. And I'm going, it's coming off the roof. He's going, it's not that much water. I'm going,
you're joking.
That's what he said first thing. It's really not that much. I'm going, hold on. I said to him, any water's too much water in my book. I do not want to be. So that was kind of like, you got to be joking, dude. So he's even right up front. He says, I can't patch that. We're gonna have to replace it. Of course, he doesn't have the part with him because he didn't think that would happen. And then he says, okay, well, I'll just try and go and slow it down a little bit. So he was gonna go put some. It didn't work because this morning I looked at it. Yeah, and I'm going, and then I'm thinking, but if I had some of this aqua sealer, we could.
It's going down the street.
Which I might go get because
please, Lord, don't let him do
I'm thinking
this
I'm going to
again.
do this because what have I got to lose at this point? Anyway, I haven't done it yet. But
I know you've got a lot to lose there, James. You've got all elements of knowledge. From how many years have we been doing this now? What, 6, 7?
10, I think.
Is it 10 now?
Yeah, it's somewhere like that.
Right, and at any point, I've gone, oh, yes, James.
Go get that.
Go and get your aqua seal. That will solve it. No, I haven't, James, have I? There's a reason.
So they're going to have to come back and do that. So, but I had another problem as well. So I've got this toilet that got replaced a couple of years. They replaced the toilet. Don't get me wrong. They replaced the toilet.
Yeah.
And this is one of those toilets that's a little bit out from the wall. So you have that nice L-shaped pipe that goes in. And there's a little bit of leak from that pipe. And I'm going, oh, this is really it. And I'm looking, I'm going, but this is a brand new toilet. How can there be a leak?
Oh, I know how.
And I'm looking at the pipe and I'm going, this is not a brand new pipe. This is an old pipe. So and then I'm looking, I'm going, why is there all this silicone around the bottom of it?
Yeah.
So I peel off the silicone because it's obviously leaked from that.
Yeah.
Only to realize, oh, this is why. And so then I'm doing a little bit of manual, I turn off the water and everything's clean and whatever. And I'm looking and I'm going, well, the jobber who put this on in the first place, first of all, it was, look, I've been living there 23 years. So this is an original piece of equipment. So it obviously needed a new piece. And even when they came yesterday, they said, oh yeah, we got to replace that. And I'm going, but you replaced it in the first place. Why wouldn't you put a new one on?
Because you didn't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then I was looking at it and I'm telling him what the problem is because I said, look, this L-shaped thing could, whatever we call it, a elbow joint.
Toilet connector.
There we go. Toilet connector. I said, it could work, except if you move it out, you can see that there is a seal. And the reason it's leaking at the bottom is because the seal has been pushed in somehow. And I'm not willing to take the whole thing off because I'm figuring as soon as I take it off, I'm never going to get it back on because it's 23 years old. And it's so comes, what does he do? He looks, we got to fix that. I don't have one with me either.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll just put a little bit more silicone on and that'll do that. And so I'm going, I don't think it's going to work. So he says, you give it an hour, right? Of course, an hour is when he's long gone.
Yeah.
Gives it an hour, I flush it. Yeah, it didn't work. Now, fortunately, we have 3 toilets in the house, so it's not a problem. Yeah, no kids at this point using all the toilets, but I was just like, oh, come on, dude. Like, just fix this thing right in the first place.
I mean, this is just, this is standard. So both those jobs called out to cold, we will do it in one trip. Yeah. And there's a reason for that, which is we hold somewhere between the region of 12 and 15,000 dirhams worth of stock in our vans. Do not break into my vans, people. However, it's for exactly this situation. So pipework, first of all, it's only UPVC. It's really easy. Yeah. The total cost of the parts for that job is probably 15 dirhams.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the point where they actually did a good thing when they put it in the tank because they realized 23 years ago the guys had kind of cheaped out a little bit and there were no valves in place to turn off the water.
Yes.
Because at one point they were saying, well, we'll just turn off the water. And it's like, no possible because there's no valve to turn the water off.
Yeah.
And so they put one in and that's where, and it's, I mean, I went up and looked. I said, I mean, it's good work and it's just bad luck that. Yeah.
So it's on the thread.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, okay. So in which case they probably didn't need spare parts.
Yeah. The reason they glued it in though. So I don't think it's threaded. It's the valve. I think the pipes fit in. Yeah, I don't know. There's
is it a UPVC rather than a brass one?
Yeah.
Oh, they've probably messed up then.
That's
okay, so you never use those. Sorry, James. But you just
there we go.
Okay, let me tell you why. So there are 2 different types that you can use. There's the cheap one, which is UPVC.
That's what they've used.
Yeah, or there's the brass one, which is the one that you use. Okay. The reason is simple, which is over time, and I mean even 6 months, when you go to isolate it, it will crack the PVC because the PVC itself has flex in it.
Right.
And so it will crack and it will fail.
Excellent.
With a brass one, actually, they still are not great, I've got to say. But if you buy original, and you know what you're looking at, then you actually need one which has a brass spindle. You're probably aware of the gate valves, which, by the way, a gate valve for people, it's a tap, but it's got like a red head on the top of it that you turn around circularly. Yeah. So the central shaft on a really good one is brass. On the ones that are sold to a price, they are steel. Steel and water over time will rust.
And there's a little bit of salinity in our water. Marginal, but it's still there.
Which actually has an effect on the brass as well, which is the reason why they don't last forever.
Oh, nice.
But again, the brass ones are much better, and there's a particular brand, PEX, P-E-X, that is better than everything else. Yeah.
A lot more expensive than the other stuff?
No, not a lot more, a little bit more. Okay. We used to use a brand called Pegler, which is a really famous brand.
What happened with them?
Well, unfortunately, they were copied. So there are loads of copies out there, all with steel main central shafts. So we stopped using those when, I talked to the main Pegler guy from the Middle East, and he didn't give me any confidence that he was going to solve the issue in the market. So we moved to PEX. Nobody is copying that. Yeah. So there we go. So that's the first one on that. Now, what normally happens here is normally that would be threaded on the brass ones, and you would use a brass socket on each side, and that you would then use PTFE tape, and that tape will.
I've never heard of what's PTFE?
Teflon tape. You probably know it as.
Okay.
Gotcha. So that over time can loosen off, and that's just a standard unfortunate thing that can happen. However, for yours, because it's glued in, the only way of them doing it is to actually physically cut it out.
Yeah, exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, but when he cuts it out, he's just going to put another PVC one in, unless someone says to him, get a brass one. But when you say get a brass one, almost certainly he'll get a Pegler, and a fake Pegler at that, which will have the steel on it, which will still break within 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's that one. Now,
and he knows better than me, so it's like I'm just going, oh, come on.
So for the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 connections on that. On the inside that attaches, so inside at the top of the toilet connector, so a big circle, and on the inside there is a rubber seal, Well, that's a rubber seal in a very hot climate, which over time goes brittle and therefore will crack. Okay. On the outside, there is like 4 or 5 rubber seals that are designed to go into the sewage pipe so that if it fails on the first one, you've got the second one. If the second one fails, you've got the third one. If the fourth one fails, you've got the fifth one. Well, after 23 years, I can guarantee all those have failed. So,
yeah, there was silicone on both sides. So I'm thinking,
So to reuse that is just insanely stupid.
Yeah.
It's one of those, James, where you're just like, okay, now the other side of that is there's also 3 different styles of toilet connector. There's a straight toilet connector, there's a slight offset, and there is a really big offset one. We keep all of those in every van that's going to do that kind of job for the simple reason that until you actually get in there and see what is the situation, it's not always the one that's in there, but you then have that choice to make which one to use.
So here's an interesting thing, an interesting observation for this old elbow use joint that's there. I'm looking at it, and it's in place. So this old one's there, and I'm going, I think it needs to be actually on the part that's going into the sewage on the bottom. I think it needs to be raised by, a quarter of an inch. I think it's not.
These are long. So it should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, to give you an idea.
So maybe it needs, where it's going in the sewer, maybe it needs to be raised a little bit.
Yeah. But again, if you imagine, if all of the seals have failed, it will go straight past that seal and sink.
Oh, that's probably what's happened.
Yeah, almost certainly. Because it's very, very rare that you have that issue.
Because I'm looking at it going, this just doesn't look right to start with. It's just like, okay.
So there is that. There is the other scenario, which is with a 23-year-old toilet, it is possible.
But it's a new toilet.
It is a new toilet.
The toilet's brand new.
Ah, right, in which case, no, it's absolutely fine with the standard 3.
Yeah, the toilet's brand new.
Great.
Just this, why they didn't put a new one in. I mean, to me, it's just like, but if you're replacing the toilet, why wouldn't you replace the hardware that goes with it?
They do a good job of making us look good, don't they?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them and for you, it causes those issues. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And,
Well, now I got to have another visit. And the irony of that is I'm not home a lot. And I guess the people that they're working with have a lot of home help and stuff. So there's always someone around. Yeah. So they can't get it into their minds that, well, what do you mean you're not home? It's like, I'm not home. Well, is there anyone home that we can? No, there's no one home. And so what time?
Do you like dogs?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, speaking of dogs, we had some acquaintances from Canada where they did the Queen Mary from New York all the way to Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a trip.
Yeah.
You would have thought that there's plenty of dodgy moments there as well.
Oh, there was a dodgy moment, they said, for 2 days where the ship is black.
Nice.
And where it's going through pirate territory. So they turn off all the lights.
Oh, of course.
Only internal lights.
Somali outfits.
And they have water cannons on the ready. They have lookouts. And there are armed representatives on board on the lower decks.
Do you know what? I would volunteer for the rocket launcher.
and they are steaming fast.
Yeah,
at that point, it's pedal to the metal, boys, where we are going. So if someone can catch them, which, I mean, you could do that in a speedboat, but they're moving fast. So you get hit with a water cannon on a, steamer.
I was watching something on that only last night,
steamer.
actually. And
Who calls a cruise boat a steamer?
You do, weirdo.
What's the Queen Mary? You're kind of thinking, some coal-fired engine, right?
Cruise line. No, it won't be coal-fired these days. It'll be diesel, won't it?
Coal-fired.
Big diesel at that. Coal-fired. Not allowed to do that in this day and age.
So the 2 women come over. They're one of them is having her 90th birthday this summer.
Gee, spring chicken.
They're walking around downtown. They're
That's amazing.
They're walking 14 kilometers a day.
That's brilliant.
And they come to the house, and the 55 kg Labrador leans against one of them, almost knocks her over.
Wow.
And he's just leaning in for a pet. Almost knocks her off balance.
I just wanted to say hi. Wait until we get to the main act.
Survives the cruise, survives walking around Dubai, breaks a hip because of a Labrador.
Oh, man, that's classic. Dear, oh dear.
Oh, man.
Can't live without them.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
What's going on? What's the big ticket items this week in the shop? Anything going on?
Yeah, we're doing loads and loads of repair and replace, which is the new service for replacing AC units.
Okay.
Which is going really well. We must have quoted for 25 jobs in the last month, which if you imagine...
That's a lot of AC units.
That is a lot of AC units.
And you're just one company, so...
Yeah, I mean, we to be fair, because they're really high-ticket items, you don't get a lot of those that convert, but it's a good number. And you know what? Turns out we're really, really good at it, which is great. Blissfully happy customers. Really nice work. We're documenting the whole thing because it's early days for us for repair and replace. So it's one of those areas, and it's going to happen more and more. And we were only talking yesterday about the fact that the traditional old gas that was used in all of the ACs in Dubai, which is full of CFCs and nasties, is being phased out. Well, the reason it means that for when you ask for a top up for your unit, or you wouldn't ask, you just need a top up, you can no longer have that topped up. You need to get all of that gas out of the unit. Now, nasty companies will just vent it into the air, all of that full of CFC. We have the official approved system to make sure that we recycle that properly.
And you send it all out to EnviroServe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, but the new systems use new gas that is much more environmentally friendly. Okay. And the replacements in old units, it needs to be done as well, which is a 3-hour job. And also the gas is 3 times the price of the old stuff.
So hold on a second.
It's going to get painful.
New gas. If I need to put some of this new gas in my current system,
you can't do it.
So can they pull out the old gas and put in the new gas?
Exactly, but that takes 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah, and the new gas is way more expensive.
Oh, dear.
Now, we still have some R22, which is the original gas here in the market, but it's an indicator when, because you know that we were doing recycled with EnviroServe?
Yes.
They stopped doing that.
What?
They had to stop doing that because there was no more left. So all of the district cooling, which is where they got all their gas from, has moved over already. So we were just talking yesterday about, you know what, we haven't got a heads up on when this is actually going to stop. But when it does, it's a massive, massive problem for customers because instead of it being, oh, no, we don't need to charge for the gas, it's going to be, I'm really sorry, but I know it needs a top up and it doesn't need very much, but the only way of doing this is to take everything out, put new gas in, 3 hours of work plus the expensive gas that's going back in. And there's nothing that will be able to be done about that at the time.
Now, you're doing this the right way. I've got some folks from the Jobber Nation who do work around where I am. I mean, we have an air conditioning company that comes.
Yeah.
They tend to be reliable. Are they going to do the same? I mean,
no. To give you an idea, the units that are required to do it is law in the UAE right now, but a lot of companies are not doing it. So the bit of equipment that is just required to do that, it's 7,000 dirhams.
Ooh.
And for me, just to keep going, I need 6 of them.
Yikes.
So, and we've made that investment. But you imagine the majority of companies here, unless they get caught, which is kind of unlikely, they are venting.
So the cleaning process, though, of my system, even if I vent it all out, do I not have to run through a little, get rid of any?
Yeah.
Are they going to do that? Probably not, right?
So there's a number of different ways of doing that. So the standard way that companies like this would do it is they just run some more. So they cut open the pipework or a pipe somewhere near the compressor, vent out what's there, then shove some more through it to get all of the muck out of it.
Oh, if they cut the pipe, there's a potential for a leak.
Oh no, everything goes. Everything goes.
But then when they have to seal it up, there's a potential that they don't.
Oh no, you have to do that anyway. If you're replacing a compressor, for instance, you'd have to do that anyway. But that is their cleaning technique, which is appalling.
Oh man.
The other possibility is by using nitrogen and one of the cleaning gases that we have available, which basically means it is more effective, more environmentally friendly. But the whole process to do that takes a long time and expertise that a lot of companies don't have.
Is this going to also, spiral down into the automotive industry? Is Glenn going to get hit by this as well?
I think Glenn's already been hit. It's all done for those guys. They have automatic machines, which makes life a lot easier. Yeah. So actually on his, they pull out automatically before putting new in.
You couldn't use one of those with what you're doing?
No. Because if you imagine we're on a roof, so everything needs to be portable, and it's a very different scenario.
Okay.
But it's that process. So what that will do is at times when these old units are at the stage where they need a gas replacement, I think it will push people towards replacing them at that point. So we need to be ready for that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we are. We're really ready for that. And
but I'm going to get hit with
happy with the work that's been done.
The client gets hit with a little bit extra cost because the gas
no way
costs
around
more.
It. There's no way around it.
Okay.
But to, at that stage when you've got really old units, to go through the rigmarole of putting new gas in those old units, more customers, not a massive percentage, but more customers will go, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity just to replace that unit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. I'm glad I know this is coming. Thanks for the heads up.
We don't know when. And it'll suddenly be like, kablam, there's no more R22 left. Oh, my word.
I was looking at the We Will Fix It Instagram post, and I highly recommend that because I'm waiting for you to start making little short movies of your...
We've been talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching one. I thought it was almost Blair Witch Project, so I thought that'd be good. Yeah. So, it's the night. Actually, there used to be this show, Toronto, City TV. You guys could do this show. And they had, so this is back in the day. So, I mean, I haven't lived in Canada for 23 years. I haven't lived in Toronto for another, 10 before that. So this is way back. So City TV during the night shift. So once they went off the air, they obviously had their news trucks driving around looking for news.
Yeah.
They would literally set up one of the TV cameras on the dash and just film.
Nice.
So I was thinking you could do that live stream from your trucks when they're doing their overnight shift.
Yes.
Or the guy's just sleeping, or,
Yeah, well, it just kind of depends. I think more of an issue would be the amount of swearing that goes within those vehicles, which is not ideal.
No, you're also, you're a lot of Filipinos. I mean, it is a Filipino and British.
Filipino and British partnership.
Which means the karaoke at your place is spectacular. So there could be a whole We Will Fix It karaoke session.
We had a brilliant staff party, actually, in our car park. Went ridiculously well. So good. And it turns out, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Filipinos, on the whole, have a really good voice. You've always got, it doesn't matter what party you've ever been to, there's always one who thinks they can and really can't. And that's quite a moment. You've got to spot who it is. Well, if you imagine, you then multiply that by 100 people. So we kind of had about 6 or 7 that were, woo! Yes. Your mum told you were good, didn't she? Yes. But no, we had others that were absolutely amazing.
So the reason I brought up the Instagram movies and things is because you had a nice little storage video that went up.
We did.
The other week, and it was with a Jeep.
Yes.
And they were taking the roof off.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. I was contacted directly on that one. It was one of the British dads, as you well know. I'm a big fan of our British dads group here in Dubai. And he's like, I think I've gone about this the wrong way. I bought the kit to be able to raise the Jeep roof above my Jeep and store it in the cavity or the upper area of our garage. And I didn't really think about anyone that was actually able to fit it. I've got some instructions. I'm not sure whether they're going to work. Do you know anyone? I know where this one's going. So I had a conversation with Rod, our head tech. I'm like, Rod, I think we can do this. What do you think? He's like, I've done this 4 times already, Colin. What are you on about? So we sent him over there.
I need this guy to do this for me. It's a little late in the game, but
it's good.
This is the whole reason I never take off the back roof is because it's where am I going to put it? Where am I going to carry it? I need this.
Yeah. So Rod then, and the parts or the kit was available off Amazon. I've got the details of it now.
All right.
So Rod basically went there. We quoted for 4 hours. He did it in 2.5. So job done. And also we ignored a lot of the directions they were giving us. They're like, mount it into wood. We're like, you must be kidding. We've got concrete directly above. We can use expansion bolts straight away into concrete. It's way stronger than ever going into wood. Yeah. And, an additional cost that's there for the wood as well. So, yeah, he did it straight away. Job done. So easy for him to be able to do it. And but he is an absolute genius. So it's no real surprise that he managed it.
Well, it got me thinking about storage in garages. And I know you've got some shelving. And then I saw this and I thought, wow, this is a great idea for roofs and things. And I just thought, let's have a little chat about some options that one has for winning a little bit of space. And here we've got a lot of carports, but they're still rife for some storage use.
Yeah. Dan did exactly this. He has the hooks in the wall so that he could hang the very, very impressive bike that he has that I don't think is used these days. Because last time I saw it, because it was not indoor, he doesn't have doors on the front of it. It was looking a little bit sorry for itself, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And that is the problem. So First of all, if you're storing a bike outside,
Yeah.
it will rust and it's going to be bad, especially after a summer. Secondly, if it's in sunlight, it will fade and it will crack anything
Right.
that's rubber, so tires or anything like that. So, first of all, do you have an indoor type garage space?
Right.
Then this is all perfectly feasible. So
that's right off the bat. You got to take a look at your environment.
yeah, absolutely.
Because I've often romanticized about putting my stand-up paddleboard outside, and then I kind of went, yeah, it's going to be direct sunlight. The bag's going to get destroyed.
Yeah,
The board will get destroyed. I keep them inside.
yeah. Or you could tarp it.
Oh, okay.
So just a tarpaulin that you don't really mind if it gets destroyed to deal with whatever else is inside. I've done that with the NASCAR. It was the only way. Anyway, another story. So for that, then so just think about there's so many different mounts that are available. Mounting them at different heights means you can actually use a wall a lot more effectively, and they almost interlock, if you can imagine, in the way that it's designed. I use like factory shelving in my garage. So I've gone all the way down one side and then across the back because I need huge amounts of storage. I mean, I've got one just for Pajero parts, which is 6 meters long. And it's great, and it'll take weight. That's the other classic.
That's the problem. And I think so many people forget. They'll put some hooks up. They'll put this, that, the other thing, and they're not weight bearing. They're not load bearing.
Here's an absolute classic for you. I had in the really early days, and so this must have been probably 2009. I had a call which basically said, "We have a super VIP customer that needs a handyman to come to their property."
I love that word, a handyman.
Yeah.
Which is
they're going to get no briefing, and they have to be security approved. So we sent through the details of the guys that we had at the time. This is really early days, so we didn't have all that many, and they all got rejected. And I then sent my details through because they wanted the manager of the company to be checked out as well. And oh, good news, you're security approved, so you're doing it. Right. Okay. Well, it's a job and we need it. So off I went, and I was handyman that actually turned into about 4 days. But the shelving job that they did. So this person was the ex-wife of a very prominent European president.
Okay.
And the sons that she had with the president were in town. So I got met by these really, really nice young guys at the entrance. And it was only after 5 minutes that I saw the kind of bulge that was just inside here. So they had handguns in case I was going to be.
You never know.
Well, you imagine. I've got hammers and various other bits. So okay, makes total sense. And some of the stuff I was installing was in the kids' bedroom. Yeah. But they got the legendary lac shelves. The IKEA lac shelves.
Yeah.
Don't they look lovely on a wall?
They look beautiful.
Because they don't have any actual brackets underneath them. They're built into the shelf.
Yeah,
That's wonderful. So the feedback they gave was, okay, those are up. And just do not put weight on them.
Which means you can't put much on them.
No, you really can't.
And you really forget about that, because I've got some old shelves that I put into our, a little office that I've got at home.
Yeah.
And, they're even with nice brackets, and, you got the nice solid wood, and even over the years with putting just regular books on them.
Yes.
Books are heavy. There's been some, bowing a little bit of that wood. Because you forget how heavy paper and stuff is.
Well, I got a call 3 weeks later to tell me that apparently the shelves that I put up had just failed. Yeah. And they're very kind of pointed. I was like, well, I know how I put those up, so there's no way. I over-engineered it like you wouldn't believe, because I knew that this was going to be a problem. So back I went, and so there is the bracket still perfectly on the wall, with the two prongs bent down at a 35-degree angle. Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm like, okay, so what do you put on it? Well, have a look at all of these reference books. You put reference books on it, and these are the longest black shells, so it probably had, I think, probably 40 kilos on it at the time.
Oh, man, that lac shell will never support that.
No, absolutely, not even close. No. So I said, okay, so now, and this was with the lady of the house, I was like, just see my fixings. She's like, oh yes, I know that, but the shelves have failed. Okay, do you remember the conversation we had? Oh, Oh, yes, I do remember. Well, you do have more, don't you? I'm like, yes, you're not going to put the books on the mic. Oh, no. Thank goodness I never heard about that job again. But we had to redo it. I charged her again. And yeah, that was that one.
So you got shelving we can put up. We've got roof hoists we could use.
Yeah.
We've got wall mounts we can use.
Yep.
All again great if they're indoors. One of the things that someone mentioned is pegboarding. Does anyone use pegboard anymore?
There's a new style of pegboard actually from IKEA that Dylan wanted as part of his desk that we built together, which is lovely. And they come now with their own kind of, so rather than the traditional pegboard, which by my definitions of a pegboard, I think cork. Is that what you think?
No.
What do you think?
So I'm thinking of a brown piece of almost like plywood that has all these little holes in it that you can then put hooks in.
Right. Okay. So yes, this is almost what it's adapted to. So the new version of that is the board with the holes in, as you imagine.
Isn't that interesting? You're thinking cork where you're putting tacks and stuff in.
That's how we used to have back home.
So the pegboard, I'm thinking North American stuff. So it's got all these custom little hooks you can put in, pegboard hooks.
Which is what the new IKEA setup is. But actually it's plastic.
Oh, plastic.
So, yeah, it's plasticized. So that way, if you don't get any of the marks on it that you used to get. And then they have their own system, which is specific to the holes. Of course, you can't use generic.
Of course not.
And they have all of the hooks and the baskets and all that kind of thing. So Dylan now has that in front of his new school desk at home, so that when he wants to have reference stuff, he can put it there.
There's a lot of options for storage.
Yeah.
But again, indoor, outdoor, you got to be thinking weight bearing, load bearing, not load bearing.
Yes.
And I was thinking again about back to the Wrangler roof. See, I've got one of those fiberglass things with big steel girders around the corners. I wonder if we could rig something up with that, or we'd have to put some wood.
So you got fiberglass and
I got a fiberglass roof system, kind of like my carport area. One of those,
Oh, wait a second, I'm with you.
Yeah.
This is one of those external style ones. Okay, so the fiberglass goes over the top with the poles.
But I got pretty serious steel girder poles that support the fiberglass roof. Well over engineered. Yeah, I could put some.
Okay. So the only way of doing that would be to triangulate it probably initially, and then.
Although I could put 2x6s on the metal poles.
Are they horizontal or vertical? The poles. They're vertical, aren't they? At the four corners.
So they're horizontal, and then the.
So it's an overhanging type style. I've got you now. Right, okay.
I'll take a picture. It's kind of weird. I'll take a picture and show it to you.
Yeah, that should be enough. Although the way that I would do that is I would create a strap that goes around the pole in each location, and then we'll literally mount off that. Yeah. So with carabiner clips, that kind of style.
All right. So it's possible. I might have to give you guys a call because this would be cool.
It would.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Parting words? You got any last words?
Oh, sorry. Yes, for the boards.
Yeah, and just for in general, I think we got to wrap up soon. So
okay. I think that people should tackle more themselves. Yeah. And don't bodge it. A bodge, there's just no point because all you're doing is you're shooting it down the road.
Yeah.
So in fact, here's an odd one. I said do more. I'm now going to say do less. Do less, but do it properly.
Right.
So when you're doing a project, think about that completion. We've talked about this before, which is think about that completion.
We need to talk about this again.
What it takes to get there. Think about every step in the process before you go to Ace Hardware, and give yourself options as you go along. You'll use the other bits later.
But and maybe start with something small.
Yeah.
Because if you can finish it, you're going to feel really good about yourself.
And DIY is all about confidence.
Yeah.
And that's what it all boils down to. How confident do you feel? And halfway through, when your confidence is ebbing, as it naturally does, and things will go wrong, you need something that's really going to give you a little bit of a boost. So something small and spotting those individual elements of a job and getting that satisfaction from that's key.
One last thing, you're going to be taking a little bit of a trip. Have you sent word in advance to the hotel management that you will be doing a thorough inspection of your room? So be ready.
I'm sure they know who I am.
Because you do go in with a checklist.
I don't mean to. It's just I walk into a hotel room, my eyes start flitting, and then at that point, woe betide you. And also, this place is risky. This is really risky. So I'm not sure. I haven't booked it. Natalie has, so we'll wait and see.
It reminds me of my pop-up camper days back home with KOA campsites and camping across America. And every time we'd rock up at one, it was always a half an hour deal for me.
Yeah.
Because it would be, okay, well, what sites do you have available? And now I'm going to drive around and look at them all.
Yes.
And then I'll come back and tell you which one we've taken.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, really?
That's a classic. We used to go to the Lake District in the UK.
Yeah.
And Park Hoppus was the site they always went to. Site 252 was ours.
252.
You got anyone in 252? Yes, great. In which case, we'll give you half an hour to move them. That's been our slot since God knows when. 20 years later, I went back, 252. Drove myself, finally. Ugh. Creatures of habit.
It's been a blast. Colin Thomas from Essential Maintenance and We Will Fix It Dubai. It's the We Will Fix It podcast coming to you from the Rove Hotel downtown Dubai. I'm James Pikeway. Colin, we'll do it all again real soon.
Wonderful.